Hey guys, you guys see the title. Please stay with me. This is going to get deep. This is going to get very, very sinking. We're going to be sinking in this, all right? Please share this with everybody. Please pray for me. Pray for my protection. I love God. I am not sick. I am on no drugs. I have no depression. I never want to hurt myself. I am full of love, joy, peace, happiness, and the greatness of God, and my life is awesome. Pray for me, okay? I'm going to be releasing some information that has been confirmed already, but may not have been spoken yet. I'm just following the Lord, walking on faith, and walking on His protection. Pray for me, amen? I have to get this out. I have to follow the Lord on this. Pray for me. Hit that more button, check all the information below. Please pray about it. Look at my GoFundMe page. Please pray about it. Share it. Jesus. All right, God, here we go. So this is a lot of information about some things about to happen. On February 25th, 2026, God sat me down for felt like a whole hour at least, and He just began to reveal so much. I did not pray about this. I did not ask for information. Actually, I was just reading the book of Psalms, and God told me before I read last night that He wanted to get a warning out through me. So I decided to, after I read, I was like, all right, I can do this. God told me I could do it, so I was like, let me just go ahead and do this. This is what it is. God started talking to me about the alien deception. And I've shared this many times on my channel. This isn't the first time I've spoken about it, but I think this is the most in-depth one I have spoken. Please pray about everything you've heard. Please pray about everything you've heard. Okay? The Lord began to speak to me about the alien deception. Okay? One thing I will say is, church, we have to get ahead of this. We have to. We have to get ahead of this. It's for the Gentiles. It's not just for us. It's for people who have no clue, who think it's this, who think it's that. Please be a voice to share what is truth about these things. All right? Truth about these things. We know that there's demonic stuff going on with this. There's occultic stuff. It's very dark, evil things that is going to be masked as strange light for a lot of people. Please hear me. This is going to dupe a lot of people. This is going to be treacherous for some people. Church, we got to be vocal. We got to speak out. We really got to speak out. God shared with me that politicians will guide the masses with taking control of their attention. I saw masses of crowds of people and just a few politicians in comparison. They began to give vocal speeches that were diluted. It wasn't full information. It was diluted speeches to get your attention. Sometimes the enemy just wants to get your attention and not take you to a goal. Hear me, what they're trying to do. I didn't hear everything that the politicians were going to talk about, but it will be strange. It will be a strange light. It will be a truth and a whole bunch of lies. They will try to use history and ancient times to make it seem like it's a promoted thing and that they can dupe you. Don't get fooled by the history. It's not all true. I tell you now. Okay. It's not all true. The Lord began to share with me more. He didn't go into insight of what they're saying now, but I'm going to tell you what God gave me. He said they come from underwater. Not just saying they come from the sky, but they come from underwater and have been there for thousands of years, the Lord said to me. He said that technologies that make man look small, they have down there right now, been doing it thousands of years. Technologies that make man look small is what God said to me. Once again, the Lord spoke to me after this. The church needs to speak my word. The fire of God on the church for the church to speak out. God said, pray for this. We have to pray for the fire of God to be on the church for the church to speak out. There's something about the involvement of Christ's fire that has to be involved for the speaking out of the church. This is a spiritual thing. It's going to go against occultic things. Occultic things. Pray for this church. Pray. God said to me that the light of God to the darkness over people is something so important to pray about right now. The light of God to the darkness over the people. I saw a vision of a full glass of water after God said this to me. Sounds strange, right? It was a clear glass, full of glass resembling the church. And I heard the Lord say to me, a filled church of soldiers ready to speak out. A filled church of soldiers ready to speak out. God told me, God already has a plan with this. He has a blueprint he's been working on. And God said to me that he has them incognito, dispersed in different topics of man, different career fields, different places, different layers of man's dominion is what God exactly said to me. And I saw different layers of society. I saw the corporate field that God had people incognito there. I saw an airspace. I saw pilots specifically that God had incognito. I saw governments that were very hush-hush, but boy, they're on God's side. I saw even in grocery stores where there was many people, quite a few, who were ready to speak out, but they're hush-hush about it. God was showing me that there was a dispersion that he has already done, a notifying, a revelation. He has personally revealed these things to people, even in military, that this has been revealed, okay? I'm gonna go here. God said to me, underground is preparing. Certain people are missing. Certain actors don't look the same anymore. Certain things are shifting and changing, and it's not being talked about while people are going about their normal day and their normal life. There's so much more to that, but I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to go further into that. God said to me, underground is preparing. I saw underground bases. I saw government alien spaceships practicing to fly off of platforms. I was in an underground base in this vision. Don't know, but I was somewhere in America. And there was this alien spaceship, and I was in front of it. And I'm watching this thing. It had no engine. There was no exhaust. It's using some kind of invisible floating device. It didn't look like, it could be magnetism. It's a type of levitation that it has, but it was practicing trying to levitate and fly. But this was governments practicing this machine type of orchestration. This has been happening. This is not new, and I know this is confirming for a lot of you. This has been happening, okay? They were trying to perfect these machines. They were trying to perfect these spaceships. God said to me, they've been preparing for many years. There is some kind of unity God showed me over the expanse of hundreds of years, over 100 years. God shared with me that there is some kind of unity with aliens. We know who they are. We know what aliens are, okay? Where they're not just benevolent beings, okay? But it wasn't direct. It was not direct. This unity was not a direct unity. I saw in a vision, God gave me, this is symbolic. I saw a man, I saw a distance, and I saw a man, and I saw these entities, but there was a great distance. And in between this distance, the priority of what I'm saying is not the man or the entities, but between them, I saw deals, many contracts. I saw so many contracts taking place. It was crazy what I was seeing. And in the midst of these contracts, I saw man's handshakes. There has been so many deals, so many handshakes. There has been more conversations than you can count that man has been doing. Governments, politicians, people with money, lots of it. There has been this unification, but it's not fully unified. There has been this it's not even a buddy-buddy. It's an understanding of each other's existence and unifying based on selfish wants. It's very different. This is not a friendship. This is not a camaraderie. These aren't even acquaintances. It's very different. But once again, there was many deals man had made between them, many contracts and handshakes. I then saw in another vision, it was a flash. I saw the title Antarctica. You guys are familiar with this. And then I saw the United States flying there fast. And they flew there many times. I then began to see into Antarctica, and there is a lot of ice. But beneath that, it's like there's literal ground, okay? It's not all ice. And I saw underneath underground bases that were down there, and it's many of them. I saw what looked like compartments in underground rocks. The ground there is very hard. It's not just soil. It's like a mixture of very hard sediment and rock and soil. But in there is compartments. But these compartments are giant rooms. Very big. And I watched, and I saw them. And I saw where there was this there's multiple elevators, okay? But these elevators go long down. And they can stop at certain compartments, and people can get off and go to these giant rooms, these giant places. Giant. These are places that are bigger than football fields, to give you an understanding. I mean, huge. They've been working on it for a while. These bases have been grown over the years. What else did I say? Oh yeah, there's this part. God let me go into one of them. It seemed like the top left one, just to give you an understanding. As I'm there, I'm looking at the back of something. And this isn't a person. This is an entity called a Nephilim, for those who do not know what they are. And this entity had a white coat. And he was facing some technology. It looked like a guy, the way he was so muscular, but he was a lizard. He was a reptilian. Yes, very true. They're down there. And he was working on technology. And there were scientists there, humans, in the midst. They didn't talk much. Wasn't a lot of talking, but a lot of working. There was this unspoken respect. There was a certain unspoken respect that man has, like, I can't touch that there with them. I can't go there with them. Of course, this was NDA. Of course, you can't really disclose much. Of course, they were sworn for life to not speak about these things. But I'm watching. And these guys were tall. 7 to 8 feet tall, some were even bigger, but they were muscular. Muscular. They're very sophisticated. They're incredibly intelligent. Incredibly intelligent. And this entity was working on technologies. They were also, God showed me over the span of many years, I saw babies in these incubator type machine pod things. They looked like they were asleep or dead. And God showed me over many years, these reptilians had been contorting man, not living. They have been taking babies, fetuses, people, things like that. And they've done contortions, testings, experiments. God said to me specifically, experiments, a lot of them. It was like it's like they were pulling flesh and, how do I describe it? Testing the significance of our flesh. Testing the details of it. Figuring it out. And then making it useful for them. Figuring it out and then making it useful for them. Okay? They were contorting so much of man for information. They did experiments that you wouldn't even imagine. It was like they were just wanting to find out details. Okay? God did reveal to me that they did use man's flesh to make suits. They did. They have been. They're into the DNA process, mixing DNA with theirs. Okay? They also want to procreate, but can't for some reason. I don't fully understand this, but I leave this with you. I was bewildered with Christ when he said this to me. They want to procreate, but they can't. So they use man and his sperm and manipulation of DNA to make hybrids. And then God showed me that there's many of the integration of mankind. Many. And it's been for a while. I know this is confirmation for some of you and new for some. New for some. God then revealed to me, it will be exposed. The church needs to act in speed. They will integrate this exposure with man and try to make a norm of this integration with this alien deception, this Nephilim reveal, this exposure of whatever they have planned in their blueprint. They're going to try to integrate it with man and make it a norm, okay? They're going to try to normalize this. We can't let that happen. Don't get quiet. Don't be a sheep to the slaughter. Don't just go in the assembly line of, okay, all right. No, talk. Talk. Around you. Talk. Speak. Let people know Christ is real. No, this is some evil stuff. Talk. Whatever God has you to say. They're going to start to integrate this exposure of all of this stuff. They may not go this deep. I don't know how deep they're going to go. But politicians will have a word about this. They're going to try to say that they are people as well, and they're of a religion. I don't know what this religion is, but they're going to say, just like you are of a religion and are people, so are they. And they're going to bring up this ancient time of history stuff. Don't buy it all. Do not buy it all. They're going to give a sympathetic gesture to the people to make it seem like we're no different. Just a different species type of thing. They just look different. The Nephilim will hide their motive, the Lord said to me. They will try to get the cheer of man. This is how God spoke it. I don't know what this fully means, but God said to me, they will try to get the cheer of man. The church needs to get ahead of this darkness. God said to me, discernment is vital. eyesight is in discernment, and salvation is in this discernment. Discernment is vital eyesight, okay? Discernment is vital eyesight. God then shareth me, the church will be raised to be spokesmen to raise up the Gentile to discernment. There is millions, billions lost to the truth and reality of this. Even though there may be 1,000 or 1,000,000 people who may be hip to this, that's a drop in the bucket compared to how many people really are on this planet. So we have to raise the Gentile, the ones who are lost, the ones in darkness, to this discernment. I saw a vision of the church with doors open and a new revival took place. God has a plan. God has a plan. Not all of this was released as far as this alien deception getting activated. What I'm sharing, all of this was not released and activated. No, there was talks about this. There was just talks about this. And the talks happened, but the church caught fire before they went home. The church caught fire before they went home. I leave this with you. Pray about everything said. I know this is deep. I know your pastor ain't talking about this. Pray about this. Seek God on what he wants you to do for yourself. Okay? My email's below. You can reach out to me if you have confirmations or any questions. Maybe I can answer them. I'll see. I love you guys. Check out my GoFundMe. Ways to send me mail, my Spotify, the things I don't share here on live stream. A very deep prophetic message into a lot of information. If you feel led to sow, tithe, and give, it's all there for you. I love you guys. Thank you for taking time to listen to this. Pray about this. Amen.